So welcome to this video tutorial where I am going to discuss a few small tips for you to where you can start your research. Generally, when a professor give a student and wants him or her to be associated with some project, usually the student get confused as how to start the research. So there is just a problem like how I can choose a topic. So how I can choose a topic. So this is the first question that is being raised in the mind of a student, that what is the possible way by which he can choose a topic. So today's first point of discussion is how to choose a appropriate topic of research. So in order to choose an appropriate topic for the research, there are some search engines through which you can choose any topic. There are many search engines, however, we will just have a look on two important search engine for a research, that is IEEE Explorer. So if you can go for IEEE Explorer, number one, and number two, you can search for Google Scholar. So you can search for Google Scholar. So these are the two important um, search engines where you can search for a topic which is suitable and belongs to your area of research. Let us see how we can do that. So let us first go to the Google Chrome and type there IEEE Explorer. Let us open that. So once you open that, so this is the page that is being opened when you want to search for any topic. Suppose you want to search for a topic on transformer as your research. So the first thing that you have to do is just click on here and search it to journals and magazines. So the first thing that you have to do is make some appropriate search for your things. So in this button where you have all, so this is one of the search field, there you just select one of the thing as journals and magazines. Now suppose you want to do your research on transformers. Suppose you want to do your topic on transformers, so just type in transformers in the search field and then you search it. Then in that case what will happen is that your search result will give you the topic on transformers for only the journals and magazines. Even there are some conferences where the papers are published, but I suggest you that when you start your research, do not rely on conferences because they are not reliable. So it is better to start from a journal, and IEEE transactions are the best papers from which you can start your research. So after making it to be journals and magazines, so here you can see that you after doing some criteria, you have got a lot of journals and magazines. So among them you can choose the best paper which suits your objective. But if after that you can do one more things, that is here you can see that there is a time period given. Here you can see that there is a time period given. So just make an appropriate time period to indicate the current research. So if you want to indicate the current research, so suppose I change this field to 2000 to 2020, so that 20 years of current research I want to find. So you just click on apply. So you will see that all the journal papers that has been published within 200 to 220 are shown for your search field. Now there are different topics that are given to you in the search field. So you have begin your search on transformer. So you have begin your search on transformer, and here you can see that in the search field there are lot of topics being shown. Like here, if you see that the topic is dissolved gas levels in vegetable field power transformer. Next you have some instrument transformer calibration system. Next, you can see that it is a fast rise time pulse transformer in the stacked 1:1 transformer. Like that, you will be getting a number of topics which you can go through in the title. So after seeing that, you can choose any of the topic which you are interested in. Suppose if you are interested in one of the topic, suppose I am interested in this topic, I'll just go to the PDF and open it. So once you open the PDF, it will open, uh, and then when your PDF open it, you just what you have to see in that research is what is the first thing that you have to go through is the abstract. So basically this is a journal, this is a magazine. So after selecting this magazine, you can go through it. Here you can read the abstract given in this box. So this is basically the abstract. What is written here? The abstract. So you have to just read in the abstract and quickly understand what is the topic told. So here you can see that this is about vegetable oil field power transformer, and they are trying to get the dissolved gas analysis. So you have to just go and scroll through this paper and understand as like what is being told in the paper through the conclusion and the results section. So lot of results are being published in the journals and the magazine papers. So here what you can do is you have to just read the conclusion part to understand. You have to read through the conclusion and the part where you will get what is the conclusion of this paper. So once you read the conclusion and the abstract, the first thing that you will read is the title, which is suitable to you or not. Second, you will read what is the abstract tells you about the paper, and the third thing that you will see is what is the conclusion of the paper. Fourth thing is just see the implementation, that is the results and how it is implemented. So if you have the available software or the experimental facilities, you can start with that particular topic. So here I have just shown you one of an important uh, magazine papers. Let us see one transaction papers, which is the journal paper. So here by reading the title also you will understand that by reading the title also you will understand. Here you can see that it is written as magazine, and here it is written as transactions on instrumentation and measurement. So when a transaction is written, suppose you have been written a transactions, then it means that it is a journal paper. Okay, and when it is written a magazine, that is also considered to be a journal. So especially if you choose some conference paper, so it will be written as conference. But whenever I suggest that whenever you start with any research, don't start with the research with a conference paper, rather you start your research with journal papers. So it can be journals or the magazine. So let us see one of a journal papers. Let us click that and then go through it. So once you download one of the paper, so let us see what the papers tell. So first thing you see that the journal paper has been published in IEEE Transactions on Instrumentation and Measurement. So generally the IEEE transaction papers are published in various journals, whether it is power delivery, power system, instrumentation and measurement, you have signal processing, and lot of other journals, sub-journals are there under IEEE transactions. So just you see your area of research and choose one of the journal for it. Now you have to read the title first to understand whether it belongs to your area of research or not. Okay, since you have just given the transformer as in the search field, so the title is being shown as transformer. Now here they are talking about some inter comparison of calibration techniques. Then you go through the abstract first and the keywords. Once you read the abstract, you will understand the overview of the paper. So after you read the overview of the paper as the abstract, then go down in the paper and just read the conclusion. So read the conclusion. So after you read the title, abstract and the conclusion, you will get the overview of the paper. So in this way you can see that whether the topic interests you or not. Once you have decided that this topic is of interest to you, just find out what are the results that are published or what are the experimental setup in the paper. So you can see that this is basically one of the experimental setup which is being discussed in the paper. Okay, so you should understand whether you have the required simulation tool, to start with the research, or second, you have the experimental setup or facilities or not. Once you have these two things, it will be easy for you to go through the paper and carry forward the research. Then the next thing that you have to do is just go above and you will see that there is an introduction part. So in the introduction part, when you read the introduction part, you will see that it gives an overview of the research that is going on in this particular field, and lot of references are given for the earlier research. These references are written in the square bracket. So you can see that here we have told that reference number 1. Here he has told that reference number 1. So all the references, if you see, then it is given at the down. So when you go through the paper, you have to go through these references as well to elaborate your research and go very deep into that. So here also you can see that where the research has been published. Suppose here if you concentrate on the reference number 7, then you can see that the research has been published in IEEE transactions on power delivery. If you concentrate on research number 6, you see it is published on IEEE transaction on communication electron devices. So in this way you will find that the papers are published in some reputed journal. So if your base paper is reputed one following a good author, then it will help you to quickly start with your research without giving a time lag. Okay, so in this way it will be very helpful for you. And the next thing that you have to do is that whenever you are doing a research on a particular field, suppose you have chosen this particular field, you just observe that who is the author. So author list is given here, who are the authors. So try to search a author who is renowned in a particular field. So if he has published multiple journal papers on a particular topic, it means that you can follow to those authors and then you can see his work and the flow. In that case, it will be easy to understand that how the work is flowing and what are the limitations and the objectives of the work. So just you can create an Excel sheet. You can create an Excel sheet where you can. So here, as I suggest, is that you just create an Excel sheet where you just in the initial part of the research, just suppose this is your serial number, then you indicates what is the title of your paper, and then who is the author, and then who where the paper has been published, where the journal name, and find out the objective of the paper, and is there any limitation of the work. So when you create your this table, try to search the author who is the renowned one. So the multiple papers which has been published by the author, then make a group to that type of papers. So once you make a group of that type of papers, it will be helpful to understand the flow of the work, how the author is carrying the work from year to year. Suppose the first author has been some first paper has been published in 1990, then yet the paper has been published in 1992. So you will understand how the flow is going on. And after reading the introduction part, you will understand what are the limitations of the previous research. So in order to understand the limitation of the previous research work, it is a good way to go through the paper introduction. So once you go through the paper introduction part here, so if you go through the paper introduction here, you will understand that what is the limitations of the previous research. In that case, you can make quite a compile a stock of the paper. In now, the second search engine that you can use is Google Scholar. So once you type Google Scholar, you will see that once you type Google Scholar, here also if I type transformers, then it will give me a lot of search items. So here also, if you be very specific, and here there are a lot of search things are there, which include the patents as well as and the time instant. So after you make certain changes in this, you can go for more number of papers in your particular field. Now this is what how you can choose a particular topic for doing your research. Now, the second thing that I want to discuss with you here is when what you have to do is after you have decided the topic. So, in order to decide the topic, I suggest you to download 50 papers. So, download at least 50 papers initially on a particular topic. So once you download the 50 papers, suppose I have chosen transformer as a big field, and then in the transformer I have chosen a small topic as DGA, that is dissolved gas analysis, and among the dissolved gas analysis I have chosen a vegetable oil. Okay, what is the meaning? That I want to concentrate on a research on vegetable oil, and I want to study the DGA in what the transformer. In this way I can sort down my research search. Okay, so after searching all these 50 papers, what you have to do when you have downloaded this 50 initial papers, what I suggest, this is the initial papers which will help you to start with the research. So once you start with this initial papers research, what you are going to do, suppose you have to download one reference manager. So just again I'll just show you, just type Mendeley desktop as the download manager. There are a lot of download managers available. So if you can download this reference manager, it will be very helpful and your research will be very organized. So if you download this Mendeley desktop for Windows, okay, so download the Mendeley desktop for Windows, that will help you and it will be serving you as a reference manager. Now why I required a reference manager, that I will tell you. Okay, why I required a reference manager. But after downloading this reference manager, let us see that how these things work. So when you have downloaded the reference manager, suppose this is what I have downloaded, then you just click on the Mendeley desktop as the reference manager. So you'll just get an overview like this. Now you have the email ID and password. So just type in your of the Mendeley desktop. This is what the Mendeley desktop looks like. Then you can see that on the here there are the window is divided into different categories. Here you have one part of the window, here you have one part of the window, this is the third part of the window, and here you have the fourth part of the window. So here you have first, this is second, this is third, and this is fourth part of the window. So how these are useful to you? Okay, how this is useful to you, so that we are going to discuss. So let us see one by one. So here if you go in the file menu, you can see that you can add files, add folder, watch folder, anything. So suppose I have added one of the paper. So here I have added multiple papers. So if you click on one of the paper, then you will see that the paper details are coming on the right hand side. So paper details are coming on the right hand side. So here you can see that all details are coming. If I clicking on the paper, the title is coming, the authors are coming, the journal, year, volume, issue, and pages are coming. Okay, these are the main things of a paper. Now this will come automatically or you have to generate it. You need not to type this, rather there is a command known as DOI, digital object identification, where from you will get this command. Suppose you have downloaded a paper where this informations are not accurate, then in that case what you have to do is that you have to get the DOI of the paper. So every paper will have a DOI number associated with it, which you can easily get. Suppose I want to get the DOI number of this paper. So if you click on this paper, then you will see that, suppose I have clicked on this paper, then you go down. So here you can see that for every paper there is a DOI number. Here the DOI number is given. This digital object identification number, you just copy it, this one you copy it, and then you paste it in your reference manager Mendeley desktop here, and just give a search option. Your other things will be filled up. So in this way your details will be organized. So here you can see that if you look it carefully, the paper has been arranged, or the files has been arranged as authors, title, year, and where it is published, in which journal it is published. So in this way, if you organize it, you will see that your research will be either in the ascending order or in the descending order. So if you want to read a paper which is currently published in 2020, just change this year, click on it, so it will start from 2020 and downwards. If you want to go through the paper in the ascending order from the paper that has been published at the first instant, then you can see the old paper that has been published here is in 1997, and then 2012, 2016, and so on. Okay, this is what the arrangement is there. And then what you can observe here is that when you will download all these papers, then here on the left hand side you can see that all the authors has been grouped. Okay, it means whatever the paper has been put here, depending upon that there are number of authored list will come. So if you click on a particular author, only those authors paper which is published will come. So let me show you this thing. So suppose I want to read a paper of this author, so I'll just click it, and then I'll see that there are only two papers of this author. So in this way, you should be remembering the renowned author who has published in this field. Again, if you observe here, there is certain things known as library. So in the library, you can make folders. So whenever you are doing a research, you can just make a folder by folder so that your research items are grouped. So your research items are grouped. Suppose I'll just show you how we can group your research, and then you see. There are different folders that I have created like PD Pulse, PD detection, PD localization and other things. Now if I click on this group, then I'll see that all the papers which are grouped under PD Pulse are obtained here. So if I take PD detection, all the papers that are grouped for PD detection are present here. And here in the all documents, all the papers will be published. So in this way, you can create a group of folders where you can be specific what type of work you are following. And this is a web-based cloud. So if four of your researchers or 4 or 5 persons are involved in the research, so each of you can have a particular email ID with a password to log in, which will help you to iterate the paper here. And after you have put your paper here, you can just give your password to your friends so that he or she can download all the papers in his computer, and you can have operation. So what you have to do is that after you have made this folder and you have downloaded the paper, just you have to do is that there is a button called synchronization. So you just synchronize all these papers. So once you synchronize this, your friend will get the paper at the same instant. So when he will open his Mendeley desktop, he will also see this paper. So if your data will be very safe here. Once suppose in the case there is certain things happen to your laptop or your computer, then what will happen once you download the Mendeley desktop in the new version of your computer and you just log in, so your all this data will come. Okay, this is one of the advantage that I was talking about. Now other thing is that suppose there are a lot of things you can bookmark, you can annotation can be done. So whatever the paper you have read through, you just click on this star button, then it will indicate that yes, it is the paper is very important, or if you want to read it afterwards, you can do that. That all things are also possible. Now suppose I want to read this paper, and then I can have lot of annotation tools given here which I can see. So you can see that there are options for highlight, color options are there. You can have a proper note, you can make it, so that you can do here in this. Suppose I want to make a note of certain things, then I can take the note option from here, and then I can click it here to make a note. Like that, you have lot of options to do. Okay, now the other important advantage of this is comes when you write a report or when you write a paper. So let me show you what is the advantage of that. So suppose you are writing a paper where you says that power transformer is a very costly device in power system. Okay, suppose something I wrote like that. Now I want to cite this written part from a paper which I have, this terms I have got it from some of the paper. So in order to cite this in Word, what you have to do is that you need a plugin for this. So in the tools option you go it, and here there is a something called MS Word plugin. So once you do that MS Word plugin, what you will get that once you have done it, you will get a plugin for your MS Word. Now I want to cite this term. So in order to cite it, go to references in MS Word. Once you go to references, you will see that your plugin for Mendeley has come. So this is the plugin for Mendeley. Okay, this is the plugin for Mendeley. So if you want to cite this work, so go to insert citation. So once you go to insert citation, here a new window will come for the Mendeley. Then you go to Mendeley, and then whatever the paper you want to cite, suppose I want to cite this paper, you see what is the name of the paper: PD inference for the early detection of early electrical ring in insulation system. Now if I click on here cite, you can see that if I click on, now if I want to cite this, you go to insert citation command, go to Mendeley, and suppose I want to cite this, go to citation command, your citation has come. You see it is one has come. Now suppose I want to add the bibliography, then you click here insert bibliography. So once you click insert bibliography, the paper citation has already come. So you can see that here, the citation has come. So here the citation has come, and here the bibliography has been automatically generated. Bibliography is automatically generated. So now suppose you want to update this citation. So here suppose I want to cite it, rather than citing it here, I want to cite it here with some other paper. So go to again insert citation and go to Mendeley, and suppose I want to cite this paper, optimization of sensor, go to citation command. Then you will see that it has automatically updated. So the first, it has become 1 and this has become 2, and the other your bibliography has generated with a new citation command. So in this way you can automatically generate the bibliography and the citation for any paper. Now this is what when you are working with Word, this is what when we are working with Word, there may be somebody who want to work with latex. So there is something called latex, which is very good tool for writing the paper. So you have to learn what is latex is all about. Those who are interested in writing the paper well, they can go for latex instead of Word. So there are different YouTube videos which you can see to how the latex paper can be written in latex. So this mainly is often useful for your latex also. What you have to do is, suppose I want to import this citation command for this. So there will be little bit different way which we have to do. So here you have the tool called edit, and then here when you go in any of the paper, then you can copy as bibtex entry. There is something called bibtex entry. Suppose I have copied the bibtex entry and I want to use it in latex command. So I'll just show you how it is, whether it will not be a useful here. So here this key has been generated for a particular paper. So this you can use it in your latex. If you don't want to install the latex in your computer, what you can do is that there is something called overleaf. Okay, there is something called overleaf. So go to the overleaf login. Overleaf, this is what, here you can create your project and you can write it the paper here without installing the your latex. So overleaf is an online portal. This is an online portal where you can write your paper, in latex without installing it, without installing. Okay, so this will be very helpful, and to use the overleaf function. There are other online tools also, but this is very one of the most important and advantageous to write the latex thing. So other thing that I want to discuss with you is that, so you have been able to create the you have been able to search the research topic. You are able to put it in the reference manager. and then you go through the papers, give proper annotation to that, understand the paper, and start writing your paper as early as possible. So that is the key to the research. Start early. Okay, so don't think and start early. So even you do two things, one is writing and second is simulation. So both should go step by step simultaneously. So whatever you understand from any paper, start writing it with proper citation as well as the references, and start your simulation early. So as you go deep into the research after reading some 30 or 50 papers, you will understand that what is the real limitations of the existing research, so that you can choose a nice objective which is feasible and you can do your research. So this in this short video I am just trying to make you acquainted with the research field, so that it helps you in quickly starting with the research. Thank you.